Whoever thought that massive trucks, seemingly only for transporting goods, could become monsters on the road? A video recently shared on social networks has made the online community shocked by the risky and dangerous truck driving performances. These cars look like they want to sit and talk together. Oh my God. Am I seeing this wrong? This is a really muddy slope. The convoy of cars roared up the steep slope. Suddenly, they were stuck in the middle of a muddy puddle. The wheels spun wildly, but the car remained firmly planted in place. The mud splashed everywhere, covering the wheels. It seemed to swallow and sink into the ground. A major fire situation occurred in China. The cargo truck was burned to the point that nothing was left on the vehicle. So pathetic. I probably have to put away the blue shirt from tomorrow. It's too attractive. Two containers rushed down the road like two giant monsters competing to blow smoke. The black smoke was billowing, so thick that the whole long stretch of road seemed to be covered in a dark cloud. Oh well, they look like two submarines moving on land. Overloaded, the two vehicles jumped like wild beasts across the dusty desert. In this situation, the way home for you today is certainly very far. Wow, so pretty. Two small cars rushed into the mud as if they were participating in a Who's Dirtier contest. Mud splashed, covering from the hood to the rear bumper. When climbing out of the mud, both cars looked like they had just gone through a fierce battle. The once shiny paint color is now tinted brown, looking both humorous and pitiful. The old car sped up like a torch. Maybe he is being very stupid by doing this without thinking about the consequences. A dangerous situation occurred on a Chinese highway. The passenger car lost control and crashed straight into the truck. Luckily, there was no human damage. If you think the dog is really cute, please comment number 1. Poor driver. The heavy truck dragged step by step on the muddy road. Mud splashed, covering the wheels. The wheels spun wildly, but the car still didn't move. Smoke rose from the engine, signaling an extremely dangerous situation. If not rescued in time, the car could sink deeper and cause an accident. Oh, the road was dark. The driver was dozing off when he suddenly, in panic, crashed straight into a dump truck that was crossing the road. And he fell deeper into sleep. So horrible. The giant corn harvester trudged across the vast field. With its massive body and strong mechanical arms, it crushes tall corn plants in the blink of an eye. The roar of the engine echoed everywhere, creating a majestic yet equally scary scene. The shiny racing car, accustomed to flat racing tracks, was suddenly pushed into a muddy puddle. It struggled like a trapped animal, its wheels spinning blindly without being able to escape. Mud splashed, covering the shiny car body. It struggled in the mud like a lost puppy. Oh my God. The car is doing somersaults like a magic show. The rugged racing motorbike rushed on the track, its wheels grinding sand, creating thick black smoke trails. The sound of the engine roared like a monster, tearing through the air. Thick smoke and dust enveloped the car, making it look like a ghost rushing away at breakneck speed. My heart felt like it was about to jump out of my chest when I saw the racing motorbike speeding away at breakneck speed. The roar of the engine, the thick smoke and dust, all create a suffocating feeling of suspense. They are small machines, but are very good at climbing martial arts. Every backward jerk of the truck made the driver's heart skip a beat. The muddy road was like a trap, swallowing all hope. The slushy mud covered the wheels, rendering them useless. Water poured into the engine compartment, making a scary rustling sound. The harder I tried, the more out of control the car became. The driver tightened his grip on the steering wheel, eyes wide, staring at the road ahead. Every passing second is a life or death challenge. Everything was going perfectly on the main road. Suddenly, an accident occurred. The small car was at fault and ended up with a dented rear. The truck driver quickly jumped out of the truck to prevent it from tipping over. A dangerous situation happened on a Thay road. The car was like a giant iron cart lying calmly on the side of the road without moving. Many people are trying to move the car up in vain. The wood transporter was in a difficult situation. The wheel kept spinning and could not get up the slope. The driver was sitting, breathing in despair, and looking for a way to fix the problem. The rope is tight, but with human strength, everything is invincible. A disaster is happening with the car on fire, but everyone around can only stand and watch without doing anything. Great! The Chinese car is facing a 1,000-pound challenge. The situation is terrible. The racing car is dancing on stage. Its head and tail spit out blazing flames. It will burn everything if it comes close to them. Terrible. I'm not looking at that wrong. The car was on fire, burning the electrical wires. Can't imagine what it would be like if it wasn't extinguished. The situation is condemnable for irresponsible drivers when participating in traffic. Surprises that you can't react in time always happen on the road that you can't expect. Oh. Your friend's help made the situation even worse. Did you know that the Toyota Hilux 4 X4 with a powerful 2.8L diesel engine roars and rushes up the steep rocky slope? The sturdy suspension system helps the car overcome sharp rocks with ease. Each jump of the car scatters small pieces of rock, smoke, and dust covers the car. The roar of the engine mixed with the sound of tires rubbing against rocks creates a powerful symphony. With maximum torque of 500 Nm, the Hilux 4 X4 easily conquers steep roads, bringing the driver closer to the top of the mountain. With each passing second, the truck sank a little deeper into the mud. The trunk was filled with heavy wooden trunks that were tilted, threatening to collapse at any time. The wheels spun blindly, sending black mud splashes high into the air. The mud was like giant hands, squeezing the chassis, making the car immobile. The driver gripped the steering wheel tightly, sweating profusely, his eyes following every movement of the car. He felt like he was being swallowed by this vast puddle of mud. From here, I could also smell the smell of gasoline and black smoke rising into my nose. It was too dangerous, and the car was carrying a large amount of oil. The oil tanker truck rushed along the highway. Suddenly, from behind the car, a thick column of black smoke rose. The popping sound coming from the engine became increasingly louder. The driver panicked and slammed on the brakes, trying to pull the car to the side of the road. Sweat pouring down his forehead, he looked in the rearview mirror and saw flames starting to lick the oil tank. His whole body was shaking with fear. He didn't know what to do other than call the fire department. The oil tanker was like a slow-burning bomb, threatening his life and those around him. The giant excavator, originally a powerful iron and steel machine, now became motionless and weak when covered by a thick layer of rock and soil. The machine body was deformed. Many parts were severely damaged. The perfect combination of technology and power creates the Toyota Hilux Revo. The rain poured down. The dirt road turned into a giant mirror. The car sped along the slippery road, suddenly lost control, and plummeted into the abyss. The tires slid on the slippery road surface. The brakes squealed loudly. With the power of the excavator, it slowly approached the accident car, used the fork to lean against the car's body, and gently pushed it up. After a struggle, the car was lifted out of the dangerous cliff. It's too dangerous. The mountain cliffs are steep. With just a light step on the accelerator, everything will be helpless and plunge into the abyss. The driver who played the role of driving the Iron Horse safely to the foot of the mountain was truly too difficult. I won't be able to predict what will happen right now. The next machine is the Toyota Innova 2.0, originally a loyal companion, now motionless in the muddy water. The engine roared weakly and then turned off completely, black smoke rising from the hood like tears. Water flooded into the engine compartment, seeping into electronic devices, rendering the car useless. The driver panicked, quickly turned off the engine and got out of the car to check. The water was almost knee-deep. The car was like a boat floating in the floodwaters. From here, it's scary. The giant excavator is like an iron monster, firmly anchored on the steep hillside. The long cranes stretched out, shoveling dirt deep into the ground. Each heavy block of rock and soil was lifted and dropped with a roaring noise. Each impact of the shovel made the entire hillside shake. The soil and rocks eroded, creating long scratches. Sweat was pouring down his forehead. If he moved just a little, the excavator could flip down at any time. Oh my God! Do you see anything? The car is going up the vertical bridge. It was too dangerous. The driver turned pale and sweat fell down his cheeks. It's unimaginable that the house collapsed so dangerously. The situation really makes us surprised at its danger. Last night's rain turned the dirt road into a giant mudflat. The Toyota 4X4 axle truck, which is famous for its off-road capabilities, now shows its helplessness. The four wheels of this 4-ton truck rotated wildly, throwing mud puddles high into the air, but the vehicle's body remained firmly planted in place. The driver, a veteran driver, couldn't help but worry. He tried to control the car cautiously, but all efforts were in vain. It seemed that the car had been swallowed by a layer of viscous mud. Each dig of the excavator's arm caused the hillside to shake violently. The sound of crumbling earth and rock echoed sharply, blending with the roar of the engine. The heavy excavator teetered on the edge of the cliff, its arm digging deep into the ground like a fragile anchor. Gradually, tiny cracks appeared on the surface, quickly spreading into larger fissures. The right track began to sink, causing the machine to tilt dangerously toward the abyss. The operator, drenched in sweat, desperately tried to use the long boom to stabilize the excavator, but it was all in vain. Finally, with a loud crash, the earth gave way, sending the excavator tumbling upside down into the gaping chasm below. The above dangerous situations really make us shiver. Let's share this video together to raise awareness about traffic safety. Thank you for following and supporting our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.